What's going on, everyone? And today we're going to be learning how to write a fraction and a decimal as a percentage, write the percentages as decimals and fractions, and write one amount as a percentage of the other. So let's quickly move to the next page. So the question's asking to write a fraction to convert the fraction to a percentage. So what you have here is you got 17 out of 20. So that's 17 out of 20. You got to go to the bottom, the denominator, the 20, and ask yourself, what number can I times 20 by to make 100? And you say to yourself, you can times that by 5 times, but whatever you times the bottom number, the denominator by, you must do to the numerator, and times that by 5. What that's gonna give is gonna give you 85 over 100, and then you're gonna move to the bottom, and you say, and then that will equal 85%. And then with the 4/10, you can do the same. You times it by 10, but then you do that to the top either as well, and that equals 40 over 100, which also equals 40%. Okay, moving on. Sorry guys, sorry for that. Just some technical difficulties right here. Okay, so what you're gonna do is that you're gonna be running the following. You're gonna be converting decimals now into a percentage. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna quickly, it's like fractions. So you see the 76 right here? You can convert this into a fraction, which makes it 76 over 100, and that equals 76%. And so you can make that 76%. And then with the 4.38 over here, so I'm going to take this right now. 1 equals 100%. Now and we got 4 over here and the 38. So what you're going to do is that you're going to get 400, and then you also have the 38, which makes 438%. Okay, moving on. Now it's asking you to write the following percentage as a decimal and fraction. Now you're doing the opposite. Now you're converting it into a decimal and a fraction. So now what you do is that you're gonna think, okay, so if there's 135%, it's already 100 out of 100, but there's 35 more. So what you're gonna do is just add 35%, which equals 135 over 100. Some people could turn into a mixed fraction and make it 135 over 100, but that's if the question's asking you to simplify it. If the question doesn't ask you to simplify it, then you don't have to do it. Okay, and then with the 76%, you can what you can do is that you can do the same thing you did with the fraction. It convert it into a decimal. So remember, 1 equals 100. 1 equals 100%. 1 equals 100%, and you're 24 off that. So you can just do 1 minus 24, or you can do that quick math, and then what that will give you is 0.76. So that's how you write a percentage into a decimal and fraction. Now moving on. Now it's asking us to write the following numbers as a percentage of each other. So this one's a little bit more harder, guys. It took me a little bit longer to understand as well. So what you're gonna, so say if you have, I don't know, you're going to the school, and then it says, there might be a big sale. It might say, it might say 4% off on some big trousers. You're like 4% of $750, and it must be some expensive trousers, So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna write the 4 out of 100, and then you're gonna times it by 750 over 1. Remember, this is very important, as if you do it by 100, your calculations are going to be all off. Okay, so now what you do is that you look at the numbers diagonally, and you see what numbers can go into each other, and then you look, and you see, and then you see 4. I mean, not 4. I mean 107, 100 and 750. You think what can go into these numbers, and then you say to yourself 50. So you cross that, and you say how much times does 50 go into 100, and it goes by 2. And you can do this with the 752. You can quickly divide it. That's what I did. And then what you get is 15. And then what happens next is that you have 4 over 2 times 15 over 1. And then what happens next is that you try to simplify further. You can quickly simplify the 4. You think, and you look at the fractions. You quickly simplify this by 2, which makes 2, and then 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And then you see, at this point you don't need to worry about the ones. At this point you can just do 2 times 15, which equals 30, and which equals 30, and then you can write the dollar sign, which equals $30. Okay, thank you guys, and I hope that you've learned a lot. Thank you.